So you don't obviously spend the whole day with your spouse. And so as you're away, if you're on a business trip, if you're traveling, connection points, like let him know where you were, who you're out to dinner with, what it was like, what your day was like. And also as things come up, like, hey, I'm thinking about you. I can't wait to see you. I'm looking forward next time we connect. But establishing regular communication with your person.
Yeah, for sure. This brings to mind one of the guys I have in my life that went through a really difficult time in himself. Moved here from out of state, didn't really have many friends. We connected, became friends pretty quickly. He got very involved in the things that I was involved with. We began running in the same direction together with what we wanted in our life. And he was in a dating season. At the time, he was in his late 30s. And being in your late 30s, the dating pool can feel a little shallow, and his certainly did. But he was dating girls and sleeping with them and ruining his relationship with them very quickly. There was very little satisfaction he was getting back. He finally decided, after being around Brittany and I, that he wanted what we had. And so he also wanted to protect that desire. And so what he did at the age of 40, it's going to feel like overkill to most of the guys, but he decided that when he goes out on dates, one, he was going to share his GPS with me. Before he went out, he would tell me when he was picking her up, when the reservation was, when he was intending to have her home, because he knew after a certain time in the evening that if they were together at his place or her place, it would lead to what he knew would sabotage him. And he wanted to protect that. He made a decision and he saw it through. So what he would do is he would text me, hey bro, picking her up. And I could check his GPS and things like that because he asked me to and gave me the ability to do that. And then he would go to dinner and he would let me know, hey, we're wrapping up, headed to the movies now. And then after the movie or whatever it may be, he would text me, hey, listen, we wrapped up here, I'm headed home. And he goes, I'll be home by X time, give himself a window to get home. But just one of those is he had a desire to create a relationship that he knew that he could build if he had a template. He made his own template. And I've never seen a man in my life create something and stick to it so closely that now if I look at him, and he's in his early 40s now, been married 2 years. One, as I think of him and his wife, his wife is beautiful. She is brilliant. She is wonderful. He completely outkicked his punk coverage when he found her.
That's awesome.
At the same time, they're getting to create this family, this dynamic, this relationship that most people have after 20 years of marriage. They've already got. And so it's this beautiful thing of one.
And he built a great relationship with you during that process.
He did.
He
trusted me.
Secure reaching out. Yep.
He trusted me. He allowed me to be in a space because he knew that I would want for him what he wanted for himself, and I'd support him in that. And I'd hold him accountable on it. So he made space for me. So he would confidently reached out, and he overshared this over the course of just a couple years. Before you know it, after just a couple years, he now has this relationship that most people dream about.
It's awesome. Yeah, I love that. I love that from a man-to-man relationship standpoint of just allowing there to be intrusive accountability, that secure emotional connection. And the same translates to your spouse or your person, being able to check in with them, letting them know where you are when you're not together, who you're out with, when you're going to be home. That creates security on both sides. That security is essential to having this healthy emotional connection.
Yeah. And for most men, you've got to get over the idea of you being managed. It's not that. It's just sharing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally it. You're creating security in her life. My wife and I share GPS. Anytime I go somewhere or do something, even if she knows, I let her know, hey, I'm rolling from errands, headed home. Something very simple like that is easy to create security in her life. And so I do this all the time. And it can feel like something that's meaningless or childish, but it's really not. You're expressing that I care about you so much. I just want to share with you what's going on in my world.
Yeah, and it gets rid of any possible or potential insecurity, fights, just not feeling assured in the relationship. It's a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah. It reminds me of a very specific scenario. I'm in new commercial construction, and I happen to go and be a part of this little thing with the Dallas Builders Association. So my wife knew where I was, but when she just happened to check, she checked on my GPS to see if I was still there or if maybe I was on the road back. My GPS popped up that I was at an apartment complex, which was next door to where I actually was, because she didn't actually know where I was or what the building looked like. And she just texted me. She goes, hey, yo, where are you? And I was like, listen, I responded quickly. I always respond quickly to my wife. I said, this is where I am. I'm still there. She just shared, it looks like you're at an apartment. I go, well, let me double check. And it did. My GPS was next door. And so I responded back, nope, I'm right here. Next door, that little white building is where I am. So it's something so simple as in just sharing. If she didn't have my GPS, or if I had If I did not respond to my wife, then all of a sudden that creates the opportunity for her brain to take a left turn and think, what is my husband up to?
Yeah, it's good. And any reason why you wouldn't want to have something like that is because you're not living in alignment with who you should be. And that should hit you in the nuts.
That is, yes.
It's true. So stop being like that. Just stop it.
Stop it.
Number 3.
So that was number 3. So number 3 is allow yourself to miss them.
It's good.
Listen, guys, it is perfectly acceptable for you to be in a place where you miss somebody, especially with another man.
Yeah.
There's been times Aaron's been traveling a lot recently, and I care deeply about him. I miss your presence. So there's been several times, and I just reached out to you, yo, bro, thinking of you. How's your day? And it's just one of those is creating an atmosphere of letting you know, using my words, that you're thought of. And I know how meaningful that is to anybody, to know that you're cared of, to know that you're important, to know that you're worthy of love, even from another man, is very powerful.
Yep.
So allow yourself to miss people and express it.